Hey folks, everything new under the sun. It is Saturday night, November 20th, 2021. Is there chaos in the world? Certainly, I would suggest to you, and I'll show you the evidence. It seems to indicate that chaos is creeping in around the world for all sorts of reasons. These are my pillars of Bible prophecy. I've kind of listed them out, what the verses say about what's going to happen, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the earthquakes in diverse places, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear of things coming upon them. You look at the news about British Columbia and the atmospheric river that fell on them. Now, in the Maritimes, East Coast. East Coast is where I am. And there is great storms coming, torrential downpours, potential significant flooding coming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The sea and the waves roaring. I think you could put categorize that in there. Amongst that is economic collapse with all these calamities coming upon us, the pandemic, the lockdowns, wars and rumors of wars. There's going to come economic collapse, and then with that, before or after, is famine. And then, of course, pestilence. I think we're in the middle of pestilence. That's that center pillar there. And then comes signs in the heavens in the third temple. So there's a lot of warning signs. All the first five pillars, if you will, of Bible prophecy, at least as I've understood them, are coming to pass as we speak. So let's take a look at some articles which seem to detail that. So the first thing is protests. Massive protests underway. Vienna, Paris, Perth, London. Police confrontations reported. Now, what's happening? Of course, Austria has mandated, made compulsory getting the jab. And if you don't get it, you're going to be fined big time. And there's a lot of protests. This is all over Twitter. In Vienna, no vaccine mandates. It goes on. The scene of a pro-democracy rally in Vienna. No vaccine passports. I don't want to click on that. Here's another one. Let's see. Scroll down there. Nuremberg Code. A Nuremberg Code refers to the fact that we should not be subject to any medical testing or unwanted medical experiments or otherwise done on our bodies, and that's called the Nuremberg Code. Search that out if you don't know what that means. So riots, protests, and these are turning violent through Europe as they're grappling with lockdowns again. A year and a half, 2 years after the start of the pandemic, they're going into lockdowns again. All sorts of trouble. Here is a comment about Australia. Perth, Australia, you can clearly see that there are many more people who can resist than the small number of tyrannical controllers. It's a no-brainer. No compliance is that tweet. So chaos, violence. Let's look at this one. This is just DuckDuckGo searching for Rittenhouse protest. Look at this. Windows smashed, downtown Portland. Protests. Chaos happening. Let me see. I think that is off screen. Let me put that back on screen there. There we go. Police arrest 5 amid New York City protests after Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. Of course, Kyle Rittenhouse, he was declared innocent on all charges. Kyle Rittenhouse acquitted. Protests erupt from New York City to California. These are just headlines. Again, I just DuckDuckGo'd it. Windows smashed. Oregon, declaration of a riot. Protests erupt in New York to California. Photos. A riot declared in Portland. It's just, news outlet after news outlet speaking about this. Chaos. Wars. Rumors of wars. I suggest to you that also means people fighting people. Violence in the last days. I have verses about violence. There's going to be increased violence because the love of many will grow cold. People are getting sick and tired of this. They're not loving each other anymore. And the world is greatly divided in these last days. Again, sea and the waves roaring, and potential outcome of the earthquakes and volcanoes that are going. You hear about earthquakes in diverse places. I think that includes volcanoes. And note that how God is just going to judge the earth in the last days. He judged it the first time with water in Noah's flood. The second time, he's going to judge it with fire. And I believe that includes the volcanoes going off. He always uses his creation to judge people. And so this is La Palma. There has been an elevation in increase in activity in La Palma, massive lava flows again. So look at these latest news 7 hours ago. Daily Mail: all flights from to and from La Palma canceled due to ash from Cumbra Veja volcano. And just all sorts of news updates. And this has been going on for over a month now. I think 33 days if you follow Bushcraft Bear. All sorts of trouble going on there. And of course, the worry is that there could be a massive landslide and cause a tsunami, which could possibly hit the east coast of the United States. That's the suggestion there about that. And so there's an increase in these things. And as there is an increase in one volcano, there is usually a chain reaction to other volcanoes, especially look at the Ring of Fire, for example. Volcano goes off in one, or there's an earthquake in one, other ones start smoking and spewing lava, as they're all connected underneath the continental seams there, the crust and the divides there. And so this is significant. All this stuff is happening in our day and age, and this is also happening at the same time as Israel appears to be getting ready to go look after Iran. And also there's talk of new pandemics, specifically smallpox. Bill Gates is looking for research funding for smallpox. He says that's going to be the next pandemic. And then what news comes out? Well, at the CDC lab, they were cleaning out a freezer, and I think they found 15 vials related to smallpox, a vaccine, and apparently the virus itself in a couple vials. Of course, they said nothing got out. No, it's all safe. It's all secured. But when you have these people saying, the next pandemic is going to be smallpox, and they're looking for research money, funding, you gotta question it. Not only that, we've had these cyber attacks, which I have spoke of, and all these cyber attacks are related to the last days and the destruction of the economy. Cyber Polygon, that is the event 201 similar situation that is occurring. Cyber Polygon related to cyber attacks. So chaos, and there's seems to be every other day, or every day rather, there's something seemingly pointing us in another direction of something else that's going to cause chaos, something else that's going to cause disruption in the supply chain, something else that's going to put more weight on the economy and pull it down even further, something else that's going to convince people to protest, to rise up, to start revolutions. They're talking about revolution in the United States. They're calling for a communist revolution to deal with the Rittenhouse verdict. So there you go. Again, I think these pillars are what you would expect to see, and there's going to be an increase in these, like birth pains, increase in frequency and intensity. That means more and more frequently, you're going to see more of these things happening. So there's going to be a buildup. And they're going to be more intense too. You're going to see larger and larger earthquakes. You're going to see larger and larger wars and riots and trouble. You're going to see larger and larger famine and more pestilences coming that will kill more and more people. And the sea and the waves will roar. There's going to be these atmospheric rivers which are going to cause catastrophic flooding, as they did in BC. And they've cut off supply chains there. All shipping. A lot of Chinese shipping comes through Vancouver ports across Canada, and this is what's happening in those last days. You need to be prepared for it. You need to be prepared maybe to shelter in place, whether that's a lockdown or a natural disaster of some sort. So folks, be prepared. The Lord is coming. He's not coming immediately. There's going to be some significant things that are going to happen, which we're going to know. I think it's going to be obvious when these things happen. Obviously, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. I think it's going to be obvious when the four horsemen ride, I think it's going to be obvious to Christians, certainly. We're going to say, yep, that is it for sure. I don't think there will be a question about when the 7-year period starts, or when the judgment of God comes, when the wrath of God starts. There's not going to be any question about that sort of thing. And these birth pains, these things are increasing. We're told that these things are going to happen. You need to expect it. And I would think if God is telling Christians to look for it, expect it, know that it's coming before his second coming, that he would also expect us to be wise and be prepared in some fashion, and to prepare to tell others what it is when they're scared, when they're saying, what's happening in this world? It seems like something weird is going on in this world. Why is all this trouble coming upon us? And you can say, you know what? The Bible said this was going to come, and the Lord is coming back, but there's going to be a lot of trouble before that. So if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, he died and rose again 2,000 years ago for my sin and your sin. He's coming soon. He's going to judge the world. But before that, there's going to be significant upheaval in the world. God is using this time to force people off the fence. He's going to say, follow me, or don't follow me, but don't be wishy-washy. Don't be lukewarm. He's going to raise the temperature, if you will, climate change, global warming. He's going to raise the temperature on all of us so that we pick a side. And this is part of his plan. He doesn't want anybody. No one's going to go to him when they stand in front of him in judgment. No one's going to go to him and say, I didn't have a chance to make a choice. He's going to say, you had a choice, you made your choice, and now you have to, you made that bed, you got to sleep in it now, effectively. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll leave it there. Have a good Sunday. Have a good Lord's Day. We'll see you in the next video.